Um, yeah, that's great. I feel like I don't talk about these things with people, but like it's kind of shit that I think about like on a daily basis, and that I think I'm like starting to have like really like intense. Yeah, that's a good angle. I like that. Intense sort of like vivid dreams about. Like it's not even like that serious. Like as soon as like this shit goes down, whatever this shit is, I feel like Minnesota is like, in terms of like the great American experience or experiment, it's like the hub. Like I feel like if anything new hits the country, like Trump's administration wants anything to be done. Actually, the first like the top 5 cities or areas are gonna be like Texas, California, Minneapolis, New York, like maybe Chicago a little bit, but those are like the top cities that get hit with it. Actually, San Francisco too, like, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere else is kind of like hit or miss, you know, but it's like they're trying to instill this like fear in people, like oh, you can't, like curfews or just these like rules and regulations, even all this shit around like smoking and like weed and like all that, you know, it's all like propaganda. Like, because the thing is, like, take for example smoking or drinking, right? If you have a demographic of people that you're trying to single out and you can find something that they all like have in common in terms of like drug usage or extracurricular activities, if you can like demonize that thing, right, you can essentially alienate a group of people from the rest of its society very easily by encouraging the people you don't want to alienate to not do those things, and then the people you want to alienate to do those things. Because the concept of smoking or drinking being illegal or like how do you say, like taboo or ghetto, quote unquote, is an American standard. Anywhere else, and it's like, what are you even saying? You're not making sense. So that's like another thing. Also, I stopped liking that angle. Also, like, when we think about how, like, I'm gonna start looking in the camera also. When we think about like how America is divided, right? We are divided by race, quote unquote, when in reality we're really not. I've never been anywhere where I genuinely felt like me being black was a problem. I am, of course, a woman, so maybe I have a slightly different experience to that, and I like can mix and, you know, blend whatever act in accordance or, you know, non-threatening, whatever. But then it's like you have people who, and I always think about this, like everybody at the end of the day has the same hierarchy of needs. We all have like the same need to be loved and like talked to and hugged and like socialized. We all have that same need, and yet people, depending on their appearance or what they have or whatever, are like not given that. I like recognize for myself, like, pretty good looking, and I have big brains, and like I'm social and I can conversate with about anybody. I'm very lucky in that. I obviously like worked to have those skills because I wanted to be one of those people, but like not everybody knows how to do that. And like one of the main reasons a lot of people, especially like younger generations now, aren't really gonna know how to do that, talking their way into something, you know, business, all of that, is because COVID literally shut down our minds to social life. Like, for some people, forever. Some people went through COVID and they were like, this is it. I don't need society anymore. For some people, that was it. That was literally the catalyst to them withdrawing completely. Just imagine, right? Just imagine across the globe, across the US alone, how many people since COVID have had less than 20% of their time spent with other people. It's probably a very large fucking population, like a scary amount actually. Like if a survey was done, which if we cared about our people, we would have actually like the way like America should have like recovered from COVID was to have more public third spaces, more places to congregate, more parks, just in general create more of a culture, which is possible, but they don't want that. Obviously this is all strategic, and it's all meant eventually to get you in a cubicle sitting at a desk working as a pawn for them. There has been a revolution of free consciousness, and they're fighting against it, like literally, like as we speak they are literally fighting against it so hard, and they're trying to distract everybody. But it won't work. It won't work, you know? Because at the end of the day, once somebody's mind begins to ask questions, it never stops. It never stops asking questions. Even if you can subdue somebody's mind with media and, hey, look at this new big thing happening, at the end of the day, they're gonna go home, they're gonna be lying in bed, and their real thoughts are gonna start coming through. It's like every like dystopian film I've watched, it's always that one guy, right? That one guy who stands up and is trying to tell his friends, look beyond, challenge the status quo, you know? And they're always kind of like painted as like, I guess, like it's almost like a vigilante role in a way. Where like doing the thing, right, essentially not only outcasts you from your society fully forever, but also outcasts anybody else, right? And if it sparks a movement, then the whole goddamn fucking tyranny or government or whatever, the structure goes down with it, you know? And they rebuild, and people govern themselves the way that they need to be governed. And, you know, people say that like America doesn't have a culture, and I have to like highly disagree with that, because you look at a place like Europe, and the size of their landmass, also like maps are not accurate to like the actual size of these land masses, but they're divided into countries, right? They could just be one nation together, but each region had their own way of doing things enough to where they decided on countries, right? And that's how it goes. People fight to have themselves removed from the overall hierarchical structure of the continent or the country, because they don't agree with it. And I feel like America is almost like heading in that way. Because when you travel state to state, it's always different. Everybody's always different. The pace of things, the way people talk, the sort of like cordial nature of it all is always different. The only thing that each state really does have in common is capitalism, the corporations, the fact that they exist everywhere and own so much land. Essentially, is the only thing that really unites us. Chipotle, Target, Starbucks, Walmart, Walgreens, gas stations. jobs, cars. Without these things, that was gross, sorry. Without these things in our societies, we would all be probably a lot happier, but also a lot more united. The subliminal culture of brainwashing is so embedded into everything. Like the movement of modernism, everything becoming modern is a tactic. Because when you create a sort of utopia for people and you say, this is what you could have, people, and this group of people is jeopardizing that for you, you make it easy to exterminate or eliminate people. You make it easier for yourself to do it, and then also you make it easier for people to ignore it. And this is like not new also, which is why I'm like, hello, people, literally wake up, it's not that hard. If you have a human soul in your body, I don't know how you could possibly see anything that is happening and think that it's not going to be next door to your house in at least a year from now. I do not know how anybody can feel far removed from any of this at any capacity. I don't get it personally. I'm not saying you gotta drop your whole fucking life. All I'm saying is move consciously, be conscious, and stay conscious, because this shit is trying to lower your ability to think critically and make your own decisions for yourself. Be an individual, but also be a community. You are not some singular force that is unaffected by everything around you, nor are you some singular force that does not affect the things around you. You are in constant communication with the universe. Everything you do, say, and think is affecting your environment all the time. So I'm just saying, that's something to chew on.